everybody. It's a dog with you on a Monday, March the 5th, 2018. Yeah, don't forget one thing. We've got special guests today. Carmen and Gloria Cardozola from good old Connie's Diner are in the house talking about their business. But what I wanted to remind you is Spring Ahead coming up this Sunday. Spring Ahead, yeah, you lose an hour's sleep. So since I go to bed at 9:30, that means it's actually 10:30 because we have to move the clocks forward. That's coming up this Sunday, so don't forget that as a reminder. It's great to have you with us for another edition of Weber This Week, wherever you may be checking us out. You know, in my career as a media guy, having hosted this show, as Josh knows, for over 6.5 years. By the way, Josh is directing our show today, my good friend Josh Durso. But, you know, I've had the opportunity to bring in all kinds of restaurant people that people have started a business, had a business for a long time, just bought a new business, have been in business for 30 years, and they come in and talk about their business. And what we try to do here is to try to bring them in, talk about their business, so hopefully that you, the viewer, will give them a shot. Check it out. Well, with our guest today, it's kind of unusual because they don't need any promotion from me because they are legendary. They are Connie's Diner. And anybody who knows about Connie's Diner knows that Carmen and Gloria and their team over there that does the great work certainly doesn't need any really introduction by my part. They just do it right. So without further ado, it's nice to have you, Gloria and Carmen, joining us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah.
Now, I was over, met Carmen the other day about getting some information before we come on the air about how it all got started, and you were kind enough to fill me in, Carmen, about, let's flash back to your mom driving to Hobart, and she was a chef there, right?
She was a chef at Hobart.
And she kept seeing Chick's Diner on the way to work and on the way back to work.
Right.
And what prompted the decision, because obviously she was involved in preparing food, to go for that move?
It was just a dream, always a dream of hers. Yeah.
And she wasn't 25. She was double nickel right at the time. She made that decision.
Right.
Not to give away women's ages, but I did get that.
That's true.
But anyway, so the intent, she had thought about it. She had mentioned it to the family. Did she mention it to her hubby and all that stuff?
She did. And it took a process. You know?
Oh, I know.
Yeah, but she fought for it.
That's amazing.
She definitely a dream of hers, and she fought for it. Yeah.
And so in 1989, she purchased it.
Right.
And obviously, you know, for people that are my age, and I'm in my 70s, that can certainly remember the days of Chick's Diner, where it used to be 24/7.
Yeah.
And I remember having partying time and going out for a few drinks and dancing back in those days. And where I would end up, or where our group would end up, would be Chick's Diner. And a lot of people in the Finger Lakes also were at Chick's Diner at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. They still talk about it.
Oh, it was legendary. And you order your scrambled eggs or your omelet, and you have your toast and bacon and about 7 cups of coffee. And you just literally have a good time. So I remember those days. And certainly when your mom bought the business, you told me that she started doing her own sauces and creating the Cardozola name.
Right.
Now, as far as owners, you and Gloria are part owners, correct?
Right.
So how does the ownership, what is the breakdown?
The ownership is my brother Paul, and myself.
Okay.
And then obviously our wives.
Sure, okay, very good.
Beth and Paul, and Gloria and myself.
That's good.
Yeah.
So when your mom created the sauces and got ready, and you were telling me about Gloria, it's hard to believe that she used to serve a dish of spaghetti with 2 meatballs for $3.
Yeah. And a salad, too.
Yeah. And probably some Italian bread.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I mean, you know, I guess, you think about it. And one thing that I've always been amazed, and we go out to eat quite a bit, myself and Mary, and we frequent the area quite often. And we always try to stop at your place as much as possible. And I will admit there are days that we think we're going to get lucky and get in. But I know on Friday nights and Saturday nights, you take a chance because usually there are people outside waiting, and some even in the rain and snow are out the door. Yeah. And I go, well, I love Connie's, but we just can't stand outside. And I'm sure you've heard this before, but it's a tribute to you guys. It's a tribute to Connie's tradition. And I know, Carm, you guys do a great job of moving tables, getting people in and out.
It moves fast.
You don't rush them. You don't rush them to leave. But you know what? It isn't the major time gap where there's a turnover.
Right.
You turn over the tables pretty quickly.
Right.
But, I was thinking about that. as I prepared for this show with my guest today, if you just joined us, obviously my name is the Dog, H. Weber. It's good to be with you on a Monday. What I always look for going to a restaurant, and again, I frequent restaurants a lot, is you have to do the check marks in my mind. And I think Gloria and Carmen, even though they own a restaurant or diner, they go out to dinner other places, I'm sure, and they also have a checklist where you think you're going to have a good time. For example, is the place clean? Check. You guys, the place is always neat. I know you work hard on getting your staff to make it nice as it can be. I've always noticed that too. And I'm kind of a guy that looks around and checks things out when I'm in a restaurant or a diner. So you check it. It's always a clean environment. You're always greeted by one of your staff that's always got a smile. They seem really, they want to work with you and to get you satisfied, right? And they get you, as Gloria pointed out before we went on the air, they get you a menu quickly and you can review it. And then the other thing is, obviously, the pricing is very reasonable, for you. I mean, for what you offer the clientele, what you bring in, I think your pricing is really superb. And I think, you're always looking at pricing of your food cost.
Right. You got to keep it in check.
It can't be the same forever and ever.
Right.
Eventually, Gloria, you have to raise prices. I know people don't like to, but sometimes meat costs, whatever, it's going to rise. So you got to make the decision. And I think most people recognize that.
Yeah, we try to stay fair.
You try to be fair.
Fair, yeah.
But you got the appearance. To me, that's important. To the wait staff, you guys do it well. You have a great team up there, or they wouldn't be there that long, I'm sure. And you have people that have been there quite a few years, like Amy's been there quite a while.
Yes, yeah,
over 20 years.
Over 20 years.
And you have one of the legendary waitresses of all time.
Betty Ann.
Yes,
28 years. Yeah.
28 years.
Yeah, she's a legend. She is.
She's a legend. I remember her waiting on me at Pete and Frank's.
Right. Yeah.
Now it's used to be Antonina's.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, she's everywhere. She's everywhere.
She is.
But the other thing is the portions are extremely good. You have good portions. You're not going to skimp on what you bring out. It's pretty good to me. I always been impressed by the food, the service, and you guys check all my marks. And not because you're on my show today, it's that I wouldn't tell you that if I didn't truly believe that, because that's just not my style. I appreciate what Connie's has done for the area and what continues to do. And I know you're always trying to look to improve what you can do there. And I had a chance to go through your kitchen, and it's mind-boggling, folks, if you've never, and I don't expect you to go to Connie's now and say, hey, I saw you on the Weber show, so I want to do a tour of the kitchen. They're busy back there. Carmen got me in there on a Wednesday afternoon. It was kind of not busy at the time. But what amazed me was the size of the kitchen and what you generate for food. And you're able to do that because you and Gloria told me before we went on the air, there's a system in place.
There is, yeah.
And tell our viewers about the system. And as I told you before, there's always somebody, guy or girl, that you look through the cubbyhole, and that person is the one that gets the order from the waitress.
The pass shelf, yeah.
And they pass it down.
Pass the order down. And it's, we don't have any computers.
Right.
It's all handwritten tickets.
Right.
And
so what happens when the first person gets it? They look at it and decide what they got to do in this order, right?
Yep, they pick it apart. Yeah. So, table for four, you pick it apart. The salads, soups, they get fired up. And, so everything gets expedited.
So if burgers are needed, you start doing the burgers at a certain time when you get the thing.
Right.
Like a steak
and
sandwich.
And timing is, there's a lot of timing.
Right.
But the diner was set up, it's chicks, that's how it was. The diner was designed.
Okay.
A steam table, a large steam table, large grill, large fryer area, which it's like a well-oiled machine. It really.
So all four on a weekend, you said there's four on the line.
There's 4 line cooks.
So they all got to be in sync.
Yes. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, and the guys are great.
Yep.
They are, and I'm up there. I jump right in there.
Oh, sure.
I'm right with them. Yeah.
Yeah, and Gloria, I think if one part of the 4 doesn't do what they're supposed to do, it kind of backs up a little bit, right? It would have to.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I mean, nothing is ever perfect or runs as smoothly as you want it to.
Right.
Generally, they figure it out.
The most hectic time has to be when you're totally packed, I guess, because you got so many orders, and then you're really looking at.
Yeah, and line out the door, But
right.
Once it starts, you kind of just stay with it, keep it going.
So everybody should know. I guess it's common sense, and I always like to ask things that make common sense. When the waitress, if I'm the waiter giving you an order and I give it to the person in the cubbyhole, they put that on a little tick, right, to hold it up,
right,
to look at it. So that would go in order based on when I place my order.
Yeah.
And that's being fair.
Yep.
Right? the way it's served. So somebody doesn't go ahead of somebody.
Yeah.
Based on the ordering scheme.
That's right.
People get very upset about that.
I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If you two are sitting at a booth, no, if we're sitting, me and Mary are sitting there, and you guys come in 10 minutes after we do, and you get your food ahead of time. That must.
Yeah.
Oh, but well, in a way though, maybe it's because what I ordered versus what you
got. It
get.
could depend on that.
It could.
It definitely
Sometimes
could.
it depends. If you're just getting a sandwich or something like a sloppy Joe that's already on the steam table and ready to go, you're going to get it fast compared to somebody getting meat that has to be cooked.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. Well, I got to tell you something. It's really amazing. And Josh, if you're ready now, we can throw up some pictures, and we'll have Carmen and Gloria talk about what we're looking at here. There we go. It's a shot of the diner. Obviously, I did some pictures of the look. And if you've never been there, this is what's going to look like when you walk in. And there we go. There is the...
that's the line, yeah.
That's the so-called line. All right. And you said the line represents when you're real busy, four people that are lined up there.
Yeah, there's 4 guys on the line, yeah.
Okay. There's another shot of some patrons from a different angle. This is where I usually sit when I'm out. Right at the stool. Yep, looking at the desserts. Yep. I sit right there, and I love this one. Okay, now I probably didn't catch the whole picture, but it says, no, we don't have Wi-Fi. Talk to people, right?
Yeah.
Talk to each other.
Talk to each other.
Yeah.
All right. Blame the photographer. There we go. Josh brought it up.
Perfect.
No, we don't have Wi-Fi. I love that. I got to tell you, I can't recall, maybe as I approach 73 years in a couple months, I don't remember ever seeing one of them in a restaurant. It's kind of neat. I love it. So the thinking was, when did you make that call? Was it?
We never had Wi-Fi. We don't.
Never.
Yeah.
A lot of customers, as technology came around over the years, asking, "What's your password for Wi-Fi?"
We don't have one.
We keep saying it. We don't have Wi-Fi. We don't have Wi-Fi. So.
Has anyone ever complained about it?
Well, sure.
Once in a while. Yeah, I don't know. It's a big deal. Now, this gentleman, I never found out his name when I was there.
That's Anthony. Yeah, that's one of our guys. He's been with us quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony Reyes.
That's somebody you should know.
My
Your son,
Brendan. Yeah.
Brendan?
Yep.
Tell us a bit about Brendan. Is he going to school?
Brendan, no, right out of high school, he came right in with me full time.
Good for him.
And he's learning the business. He's doing, very well.
Good.
Very well.
All right, and here's our big three. I love these waitresses. Now, I do not. I know the one on the far right is Crystal.
Crystal, yeah.
The young lady in the middle, I lose track of her name.
Irina.
What is it?
Irina.
Yeah. And
then Amy.
And Amy, I've seen Amy forever. She's been with you some 22 years or so. It's phenomenal. Yeah. She looks like she's 30. I don't know, it must be. But I should point out, you said it was Irina?
Yes.
Okay. She's the one that delivered that quickie that you made for me that day.
Right.
Yeah, I couldn't leave Connie's without the quickie, I might add. And she brought it to me, and it was, okay, and here's the folks that are doing some dishes, it looks like, huh? In the back?
Yeah, in the back area.
Some more shots of the inside of the restaurant. This is Carmen and Gloria Cardozola are with me today on the Weber Show. We're talking about an historical place since 1989. Thank you very much, Josh. 1989, the good old Connie's Diner. And you think about it, and I gotta share this, a couple of things that you gave me some information too. I love this. It's on the menu there at Connie's as well. And by the way, I should point out, when Carmen's mom, Connie, bought the business, she bought it from Sharon, is it Pagorni? Pagorni.
Yep.
And of course, Sharon sold it in 1989. Connie was interested in it, looked at it, went by it every day, and decided there was an opportunity for her to get into the restaurant or diner business, which has been turned out to be great for this area. Phenomenal. There was a line that's in the menu that states, "There's nothing that will ever compare to the ambience that you will find in a true diner." And that's truly what the intent of the Cardozola family is.
Yeah,
right?
Home cooked meals, a homey feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, comfortable. Everybody knows everybody.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, to me, is pretty amazing. And that's something that has always attracted me there. And like I say, I've never left your place hungry. I've never have, you know what I mean? Really. And I think I told Carm the story, too, one night, because you're so reasonable with pricing. I was at Lizard's. I made a mistake and went in and saw my buddy Scott Trickler. I could pick on Scott. But I think I had a beer, and I was hungry, and it was kind of late in the evening. Well, late for me, maybe 7:30. And I looked at my wallet, I had like $7.50 on me, and I was driving by, and I'm thinking, I don't want to go home and make something, so I'm going to stop in. I'll open up the menu, and I ordered a turkey sandwich, Gloria with chips, and I was full when I left, you know.
Great.
And it was cost me like $6 something. I mean, it was very reasonable. And I said, man, you know, hard to get that anymore.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't like the sandwich was that. It was a good sized sandwich, and it was just, you know, something that I never forgot. So, I mean, Connie's Diner, folks, and again, this is one of the few interviews I've ever done in 6.5 years of doing this show where we're not here really to promote Connie's, because Connie's doesn't need any promotion. They get the clientele because they're in a perfect location, 5 and 20.
Yes.
You know, you got the perfect scheme. Just like my buddy who's I'm sure you have been to McGee's. They're friends of mine, Gary Schlegel and his wife Kathy. They've got the Thruway. They got Del Lago next door. You guys got 5 and 20. But what's important with yours and Gary's businesses, and we have 2 great diners within 3-4 miles, pretty amazing. But what's amazing to me is the repeat business of the people that come back. I was sitting there when you and me were chatting the other day, and I was waiting for my quickie, and a couple was coming in picking on one of the wait staff. They must come there every day because at the same time, he knew what he wanted, and he was needling the waitress, and she was giving it back to him, and they were having a good time. And I thought to myself, this is what it's all about, you know? You go there, and a lot of people must go there every day, the same people. And that to me is phenomenal, because that means you're doing it right. You know, you're not having, I'm sure maybe 1 out of 100 has ever complained about something at Connie's Diner, but it can't happen that often, and it's not because you guys are here on my show to plug you guys, it's just that you do it right. And if you do it right, people are going to respect that, and they're going to come and give you their business. Is that what true? Right? Because Gloria, you've waited on tables. You still do a little bit of it sometimes.
Yeah, but every week. Every week.
Yep. So you know, you know how the clientele is there. You look at the faces, you go, wow. You know, it must make you guys, being owners, make you feel good knowing, man, we can count on these people coming about every day.
We love our regular customers.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, you get to know them. They become friends.
And their family.
Yeah. And a lot of them, we've seen them as children.
Sure.
And they would come in with their parents, and now they're bringing their kids in. Yeah. It's hard to believe we've been there that long.
Yeah, we're that old already.
So it's great to watch these families grow and to have them come in, you know, on a daily basis sometimes.
It's amazing.
Yeah. That's the backbone of the business. It really is.
The regular
customers that come
That's
in.
What it is. Yeah. That's your base.
Yeah. This past month I had to work doubles for Paul.
Wow.
My brother Paul. He works the morning shift. I work the evening shift. And so I opened up 4:30 in the morning, worked all day long. But I see people come in for breakfast, and they're back for lunch. And then I see them back at dinner time, which sometimes, you know, it kind of sets you back a little bit, you know. But yeah, it's great. We're very lucky. We're fortunate. We are.
Well, you have an ATM machine there.
We do.
I'm surprised because you don't have Wi-Fi. You put an ATM, so you are getting a little technological.
Well, yeah,
but we don't take credit cards.
We don't take credit cards.
Okay,
that's why it's there.
I don't know how you got swayed into putting an ATM machine in there, because that's technology, right? You got to go out there.
Tough.
A little bit.
We had to move the gas pump around. The gas pump had to get moved over. It was tough.
Well, you know, I love it because it's part of the tradition of Connie's, and that's important. So let's do this. Got a couple things to talk. We'll continue our discussion here on the Weber Show. By the way, folks, I told you at the beginning of the show, spring ahead, baby. That's coming up Sunday. Make sure you turn your clocks forward. Let's take our break and hear from our great sponsor. We'll come back and talk to Gloria and Carmen Cardozola. Acting as a gateway to the Finger Lakes, Del Lago leverages the natural beauty and unique offerings while enhancing tourism in the region. The casino features 2,000 slot machines, 89 gaming tables, including 12 poker tables, portico by Fabio Viviani, a 2,400-person entertainment center, farmers market buffet. The hotel, spa, and banquet facility will open summer 2017. Cayuga Lake National Bank. Visit Bill Ryan and his team for all of your banking needs. Offices in Union Springs and Aurora, a fine sponsor of this show for over 30 years. DA Liquor on Bridge Street in Seneca Falls. Amy Padula and her team will find the right spirit for you every time. When you stop in, tell Amy the dog sent you. The Gould Hotel welcomes you to come out and enjoy the revitalization of this historic downtown Seneca Falls landmark. Every Wednesday is Ladies' Night with special price drinks and half-priced appetizers. The Omen Theater on William Street in Lyons. See what's playing this week at omentheater.com. Located off New York State Thruway Exit 41, the McGee Diner has earned their reputation as a popular family restaurant, serving country fresh home-cooked meals daily. Stop in for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and check out their menu at mcgeediner.com. The Child Advocacy Center of the Finger Lakes is a child-friendly location where allegations of physical or sexual abuse are responded to by a multidisciplinary team of professionals. The team works together to conduct a thorough investigation and to provide necessary support services to children and their non-offending caregivers with a goal of minimizing further trauma to a child. Seneca Metals is an award-winning company that has earned a reputation of going above and beyond to protect the environment and support their community. As an EPA inspector once said, their operation is head and shoulders above the rest. And the Newark Pilots of the Perfect Game Collegiate Baseball League, a minor league team with a major league ballpark. Season ticket packages available at newarkpilots.com. And the Wilson Press in Seneca Falls. My good pal Rich Rickey and his team can handle all of your printing and mailing needs. Visit them online at wpress.com. Okay, thanks, Josh. We're back. It's about 3:23, about 7-8 minutes to go. I'm going to just run over a couple of things before we go back to Gloria and Carmen Cardozola, owners of Connie's Diner. Seneca Metals always has these events. They welcome the area to come out. They got one coming up soon. It's 17th, which Saturday, March 17th. And that, of course, will be the St. Patrick's Day Fairy Terrarium. Plant your very own terrarium, complete with miniature fairies. To celebrate St. Patrick's Day with us, to register, give a call out there to 315-539-5624. That location is Seneca Metals Educational Center, 1977 State Route 414 in Seneca Falls. That's coming up March 17th, Saturday, 3 to 4 p.m. It's a free event, and it's a family event. So check it out. Seneca Metals continues to do those types of things for the area. Well, let's get back to Carmen and Gloria Cardozola have been nice enough to join us as owners of the Connie's Diner. And before we went on our break, or during our break, we should say, I asked you about the menu, how that is comprised. And you said when your mom established it, obviously changes have been made over the years, obviously. You've taken some things out, you've added some things. So it's kind of how often do you look at the menu scenario as far as adding items and taking away?
Pretty much every year.
Do you look at it?
Every year we tear it apart and put it back together. There's still staple liver and onions, believe it or not. But
not for me. I'm not a liver
Huge
guy.
Seller.
Huge seller.
Is it really?
Huge
it is.
Seller.
It is.
You like liver?
Oh no.
You like liver?
I do. Yeah.
You can have my share.
Okay.
I've never been a liver fan.
No?
I know a lot of people love it.
Yeah.
It smells great.
Yeah. I've never. So you keep looking at and then if you see items that you have on the menu that aren't selling hardly at all, then you kind of think about moving them.
Yeah,
out.
and new trendy things come up. I think wraps have been a big addition. Yeah, so whatever comes up, and we kind of work it in. These loaded shakes are huge for us right now.
My buddy Frank the Tank.
Yeah,
Frank Aldrich.
Yep.
He buys them. He got one. Oh yeah.
Loaded shakes. We have a couple flavors right now. We have a St. Patrick's Day one. It's incredible. People are coming from Buffalo, Ithaca.
Really?
Seriously, everything on Facebook.
Yeah, but your legendary items got to be the quickie.
Yeah,
got to be one of them.
Yeah, that's a big staple.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no carbs, there's no fat, there's nothing in that. Nothing.
Take it all out.
Just take it all out. It's amazing. I mean,
it has a large Italian influence, obviously. We're all Italian. Lasagna. Yeah. Linguine with clam sauce.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
And you always have 2 or 3 specials on your sign out
daily.
side.
Yep.
Daily.
Yep. Every day.
That's great. So I mean, as you look at your business, it's phenomenal. You continually do a lot of business there. and it's a tribute to you and your team. And I got to think back on that line of your people that work the line. When you need a new employee for that particular job, I guess there's an education involved of actually understanding what their person's role has to be.
Right.
And that's got to be some time to understand that, right?
Oh,
I
yeah.
would think.
It takes time.
I was going to say.
It does. The guys that have been with me, they've been with me for years. You know?
So they know what they got to do.
And a lot of them, they'll start maybe dishwashing or, and they see how the kitchen runs and they're watching, and then they step up.
Mm-hmm. Turn into a salad maker, and the salad maker watches what the next person does, and usually you move a person up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That works well. That works well for us.
That's nice.
So, but I do have my 3 sons, which is a great thing.
That's right.
That's great. I have my youngest son is at college at Paul Smith for going for culinary right now. So, and his plans are to come back. And my son Matthew is full time with me, and my son Brendan full time. So
that's great. In a way, it had to be kind of tough because Dad's watching what they're doing, right?
It is.
So you go home.
With family.
You go home. The good news is the family's involved in the business. The bad news is when you leave the restaurant, you're going home. And good old Dad's in the living room.
We spend a lot of time together.
I could say, right, exactly. And if Dad didn't like what the son did on the line, he's going to say, maybe he won't say anything at home, but maybe you'd bring it up and say, hey, you can do this differently. And then, like you say, it's great to have a family business. The downside is if somebody screws up in the family, good old Dad and Mom are there to remind them. You got.
There's a lot of family. There's a lot.
I want to say, the
Yeah.
Cardozola is a big family.
It's a big family. All the nephews and nieces, all through the years.
I've seen some of your pictures when you guys throw parties or wherever you have them. It's a huge crowd.
Oh,
so it looks like
the immediate family's 50 of us. Yeah, around
amazing.
50 of us. Yeah, with the kids.
Yeah, you guys had. Oh, it's Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Big thing.
You showed on Facebook. And you showed all the different foods you had on there.
Yeah. It was breakfast.
Was it breakfast?
We do an open house.
Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing because it's all these different dishes.
Every
It's nice. It's nice touch.
Fun.
Well, as you look forward to, you guys are both very young, so you're obviously going to continue going at it as best you can, and it's full speed ahead. And like I say, some owners sit back, look at the financials, and hope they're making some money, and maybe on a yacht and don't really spend a lot of time with the business. But you guys not only spend a lot of time, you work very hard at it. And you, like you said, Paul was out with that surgery and you did double shifts. And I'm sure Gloria steps forward and a lot of the people that are on your team step forward. And to me, that's important too, because if you're going to own a business, you should be a part of the business. I've always felt that way. And a lot of owners of restaurants don't show up like once a month or once every quarter.
It never was with us. My
No,
parents, they drilled it into us. Yes,
you got to be there
from the beginning.
Yeah,
right from the beginning.
If you're there, you can put out any fire and make sure everything's on control.
We're there, and there's still stuff that happens, and I'm there. That I don't like. So I hear about it afterwards. But there's always a family member on staff.
Now I got to ask you and Gloria, before you get off the air here. Now, when you see something that one of your team isn't doing up to your standards, and I'm sure they're both high, do you guys make little notes and talk about it later, or do you bring it up right then?
Depends on what it is. Sometimes we just write it down to have at the next meeting. Sometimes you have to address it immediately.
Yeah. Oh, sure you got to. Because, people are going to look upon you to reflect on what the team is doing.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I think it's wonderful, and I can't say enough good things about Connie's Diner. And all I can tell you is, I told you it's going to be quick. It's almost 3:30. Gloria's not going to be passing out on us. She was nervous, but you did a great job. I got to pick on Paul because I understand he was too nervous about these cameras, but you did well. And I thank you for spending your time with us, too.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you, Carmen.
Thank you so much.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
Oh, yeah.
And, look forward. And I probably will have to wait a while before I get another quickie, though, because those are, even though you take all the fat and carbs out of it, I got to rethink.
Save some for the other people.
Right. But, folks, in all seriousness, I've been a resident of Seneca County for a long time. And I have been to a lot of restaurants in my time and a lot of diners in my time. But these guys, top of the class. They do it right. They do it well. They do it daily. They do it consistently. And as far as me, that's what I love to see when I go anywhere to eat. So give credit to Connie's Diner, and I'm thankful they came in and talked about and they're not bragging how good they are, because in my view, and I'm the one that's hosting the show, they are great. So speaking for Gloria and Carmen Cardozola, owners of Connie's Diner, check them out if you haven't been there. Take care, everybody. Next week, we're not going to have a guest. We're going to be talking about high school basketball, talk about March Madness, and a whole lot more on Weber This Week. We'll take care, everybody. Enjoy yourself for the week. And again, thank you for joining us.